Hello, all my beautiful, gorgeous souls. I am Lady Stars and Fire. My real name is Michelle Espinosa, and I already did one weekly healing messages because I kind of did it for 2 weeks leading up to this eclipse, but with so much energy, I'm coming back and I'm just being blunt. And even though this is going to be more or less from May 31st through to the 8th, this energy really is traveling through half of the month of June. And in fact, even more. Maybe even all the way until July. But it is going to tweak and change. And let me explain that. And what I'm saying is you're coming into 3 eclipses. First your lunar eclipse, then your solar eclipse, and then your lunar eclipse. And you won't really feel any healing like it's working until you get to that third eclipse. I'm telling you now. Because the powers that be, the powers that be in these energies right now are very potent, are incredibly powerful, and very much just hitting below the belt. And there's a reason for it. Empaths. Okay, first off, like I said, this is mainly for the 30th or 31st of May through June 8th. But you're going to feel this throughout the month anyway. Empaths, you really need to get to a place of know thyself. And when I do my work with different clients and people, I call it being a spiritual newborn. When you're coming into these energies, because there are so many people that are also coming online and they're so confused and they don't understand this. You need to first understand what kind of empath you are, because you're no good to yourself when you can't control that empath energy and you don't understand that empath energy, because that empath in you is going to be tested over this month and it's going to be pushed. I'm not even playing. I like to put it when I do my work. There's 3 major kinds of empaths. We are not all created equally because we have different gifts. We pick up things differently. That doesn't mean one's better than the other. This just means that we're different. Now, I like to call it, when I get into the depths of this, typically there's what I call the shapeshifter energy. And the shapeshifter is like the chameleon. It becomes the crowd. You may find yourself afterwards going back and thinking to yourself, I don't really know why I did that. That's not really what my opinion is. I don't really feel that way or think that way about it. I don't really know why I even said or acted that way. That's because you're the chameleon. You're the shapeshifter. You become the crowd and you mirror back to the crowd what it is. And you lose your emotions in this because you become one of them. And you don't even acknowledge it. And you need to learn to know thyself so that you can make these proper decisions and know when to separate that. Then there's the reactive empath. And that's the one that emotionally and physically is feeling it. They're feeling emotionally what everybody else is. They react to that pain, sorrow, depression, happiness. They feel it, the stress in their shoulders, in their neck, in their bones, in their arms. They feel it physically, not just emotionally. And they react, and this is why they have mood swings. And they need to learn when it's no longer their mood. And they're picking up too much. And then you have the overdrive, which is the both combined, which is also usually the one that's starting to become the medium, as well as picking up spiritual energies or entities. And you need to know thyself. You need to know how to work with that energy, with that empath energy, and how to ground yourself, center yourself, because without that, you're no good to yourself and you're no good to others. It's very important right now for you to put that energy into you, because you don't want to let this energy steal your joy, and you do not want to engage in its lower negative vibration. its manifestation is incredibly and growing. These are very harsh powers that will be energies. And they're meant for a reason. And there's it's no surprise it's coming in during these 3 eclipses. And the first eclipse takes place in Sagittarius, which is typically the archer aiming for the sky, aiming for the higher understanding. But that doesn't mean that arrow is going to hit its mark. The thing is, you have the full moon in Sagittarius and that eclipse energy directly across from Gemini and Venus retrograde and the sun. Communication and what's very up close and personal to you in your life, in your neighborhood, sensitive about the values of what's going on, very much tapping into insecurities. None of it's getting along with the 12th house on a universal scale, which has Mars there. Mars is a fire energy in water, in Pisces, the universal 12th house. That's steam. That is steam being let out of the kettle. Neptune is your magic, but more importantly is the magic of the spirit that's creating it. And is it being created from a spiritual, positive or negative, from the spirit of the soul that's letting that steam come out? But what nobody's going to be telling you is it's sitting on top of Ceres. Ceres is the threefold. She's karma in the 12th house with Neptune and Mars and its steam. She's going to hit below the belt. She's not right with Mars and Neptune, but she's freaking close enough. And she's bringing in the threefold. And Ceres is all about teaching you about what you are nurturing or what you are neglecting. And then let me bring it even more closer to home and punch you in the gut so that you learn the lesson. I'm surprised this energy has taken this long to get like this, in honesty. Because if you've been following me, especially since May of last year, I've been talking about this. And as soon as Uranus moved into Taurus, I've been saying independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. But when that's in a very negative way, when it's not comfortable, when it's not secure, that energy becomes possessive and controlling. Those who feel like they've had the power are afraid to lose it, so they try to control harder. Those who are trying to find their self-worth, self-value, self-esteem have to learn how to do it properly. Steam will get you nowhere. Do not let them steal your joy. You have the eclipse taking place on the 5th. Not getting along with any of this Neptune energy, not getting along with Sun and Venus, values, insecurities, 12th house, communication, off the chart, full of steam, and tapping into insecurities of value and money and possessions in one form or another, because you still have Uranus in Taurus and you're gonna have it there for at least 6 years. This is, if you want to have a revolution, one of the very first rules of revolution is you must learn the when, how, where, and why of how to fight properly in order to be alive for the revolution. You must stay hydrated right now. This is from Spirit. You must stay hydrated right now. The hydration isn't just for your body, but it's also to help you rise the vibrations. So eat the food that's going to help bring that water in and help raise you up so you can be above that negative vibration and not engage in it. Because, like I said, the manifestation of that is And it's going to ask you, especially on that empath level, will you get caught up in it, or do you know thyself? Can you handle it? Where are you taking your vibrations? Are you strong? Mercury, on the 28th, moved back into Cancer. There's a reason for this also. Because on that second eclipse, which is the solar eclipse, it's actually going to take place at 0 degrees of Cancer. Let me remind you, Cancer is right here in the body. Right here in the shoulders, the neck, and the chest. Mercury is communication. It's no longer in the throat, being able to speak out properly. It dropped into the chest. Has the heart chakra and all of this been feeling tight? Mercury does not care. He's not positive. He's not negative. He's just communication, and it's up to you to make it positive or negative. He just ciphers the information and gives it out. He's also in shadow. He's got to go all the way back to Gemini at 5 degrees. He's already in shadow. He doesn't go retrograde for another week or two, but he's in shadow. That communication is. The eclipse energy is also not getting along well with Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. Pluto is fear of the change of finding out who you truly are. Let's go there. Fear of the change of finding out who you truly are. Jupiter is the most powerful planet, and it's not in a powerful place for it. They're both in retrograde. That's in the outer community of the politics, of the authority. Only talking inwardly to itself of how can we control it and keep things right in their point of view. Saturn is the rules, walls, and boundaries coming back into this energy, but right now it's still in Aquarius. That's your rebel without a cause. Are the boundaries, it's in retrograde too, set properly? Are the rules, walls, and boundaries just being broken? You're also dealing, like I said, with that 12th house and major insecurities and lack of value for the healing to take place. You're going to see this come all the way through this eclipse energy, and then on the 6th, the moon is going to cross over the south node, which is K2. Everything, the south node, K2, speaks to you about everything that you've already gotten incredibly good at, but it doesn't serve you anymore. Coming in a Sagittarius energy, this is, I think I know exactly the only right way of doing this. Well, honey, with K2 being here, that's saying, no, you don't. This is saying, take a chance at really making changes. This is saying, take a chance at really aiming for the sky. Don't blow off steam incorrectly. This is a learning process, and it's in the beginning of its time here in Sagittarius. It's going to go all the way back. We have a lot to learn about what this is going to speak to us about with these energies, and how we have to make revolutionary changes in order to move forward. Knowing how, when, where, why, and how to speak it. Do not engage in that lower vibration right now. That's a trap. I'm not even going to play with you on that. Trust your empathic nature. Trust that truth. And if you're not good with it, then just stay home. Couldn't hurt. You've already been staying home for the quarantine anyway. You're also going to have that third lunar eclipse, because like I said, the second one's going to take place in Cancer at 0 degrees. That's a brand new beginning, period. I mean, 0. Cancer is going to be teaching you at that second eclipse, that solar eclipse, about everything, about getting to the roots of that insecurity so that you can find inner emotional security by understanding what's going on right now during this first lunar eclipse. Then it'll go full circle and come back into Capricorn for that last eclipse, which is in the outer world. Foundations, politics, authority. This is a learning curve. Do not let them steal your joy. Make sure that the manifestation you're getting caught in is the one you want to be caught in. Make sure that you understand your empath energies and that you're learning how to actually work with it so that it's in service for you and you're not becoming the reactive or the chameleon shapeshifter and actually getting caught and engaging. This is a time of learning spiritual truth, soulful truth. So like I said, the revolution can begin. I love you. Bye.